Hey everybody, welcome to Country Girl with Kathy Jarvis. And today we're inside and we're going to make some apple brownies. Now the first thing I always do is prep my area. And my kitchen's kind of messy right now. I won't deny that. I've been baking cookies all week. And so we've got a lot of going on. So this is what I do first. I prep everything. I get the ingredients out. I have my 2 eggs, my cup of butter, my vanilla, my sugar. This is a cup and 3/4 cups. I get my flour. This is 2 cups of flour. I get my baking powder, my cinnamon, my soda, and my salt. Everything's ready. And then over here I have my apples and my pecans. So the first thing we're going to do is soften our butter. Now what I do, I leave it set out for a little bit and then I put it in the microwave, put it in a microwavable dish and put it in the microwave for 20 seconds. So I'm going to do that next. Okay, this is what the butter looks like after it's been softened. It's not melted, it's just soft. While that was going on, I went ahead and beat my eggs up and got those ready. And now we're going to work on the dry ingredients. Now the dry ingredients you put into a separate bowl. And I put my 1 teaspoon of baking powder. My 2 cups of flour. Oops. I'm going to do this with one hand. Okay. A teaspoon of baking powder. And a teaspoon of cinnamon. And a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I always double check my recipe to make sure that I have everything. 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of soda, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix this well. All right. Okay, just mix that around. And leave that set until later. Now we come back over here. We put our 2 cups of butter. A cup of butter. Okay, sorry. Our 2 eggs mixed, beat up well. Our cup and 3/4 sugar. And a teaspoon of vanilla. All right, cup of butter softened, 1 3/4 cup of sugar, 2 eggs well beaten, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now we will lower this down and turn this on and leave it beat and mix really, really well before we go to the next step. Now while this is mixing up, I'm going to take a break and peel my apples because I need 2 cups of apples for this. So I'll meet you back here when this is all well beat up. Okay, once you've got it all creamed, yeah, turn it down and start adding your dry ingredients to the batter. And I do this slowly. I chopped my apples up. It took 3 apples, so they're ready. You don't want to chop those up too much in advance because they will start to turn dark. You don't want that. So just turn your mixer on a little bit lower and start adding the flour mixture. And you keep adding that until you get it all added. Okay, once that gets all mixed in, you will add your nuts. Now they recommend a 1/2 cup of pecans, chopped pecans. I don't think I have a 1/2 cup left, but whatever I have is what's going into this right now. Okay, adding the pecans. And my chopped apples. And you just want to leave this in enough to fold them in, and that's all. Alright, this is what it's going to be looking like. Kind of a stiff batter. And we're going to put that into either 2 8x8 pans or 1 9x13 pan. And I'm going to use the greased 9x13 pan. So we just pour that in. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. It's kind of thick. Make sure it's as even as possible. Bake it at 350 degrees for 35 to 45 minutes. Start checking it at the 35-minute mark and go from there. Now, it may take a little bit longer if you use the 9x13 pan than it does to use the 2 8x8s. So we will set the timer for 35. And check it at that point. And it should be able to put a toothpick in and pull it out and have it clean. So, meet you back here in 35 minutes. Okay, this took 30 minutes to bake. Looks wonderful. We'll allow this to cool. And then I'm going to put a brown sugar type cooked icing on top of it. And our apple brownies will be ready. All right, after the brownies have cooled, I made a brown sugar type, almost like a fudge-like topping form. And notice I left this little section up here in the corner, I left that uncovered because I have a few people who like the brownies without the icing. So this is what my apple brownies look like. Okay, if you like that recipe, make sure you get a copy of my book, Christmas Recipes from Grandma Up the Road by Catherine L. Jarvis. It's on sale at Amazon. So remember, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Dream big, follow that dream, and God bless. Bye, everybody.